Hey everybody, thanks for joining me in the forge this evening. Got a real treat for you today, a coffin handled everyday carry Bowie knife, and this one is for sale. Stay tuned, we're gonna show you a little bit more about it. All right, let's look at some of the features. If you wanna go right to the performance, just skip ahead in the video, you'll see it. We've got this really nice looking handmade sheath. I'll cover this at the end, but I mean, we've got the full peened copper rivets here. It's smoothed over. It carries very high and tight on the clothing. Great sheath for this sort of knife. What we've got here with this knife, we got a 4.5 inch blade, 4.5 inch handle. It's a really nice balance for what I consider to be a great EDC knife. Now, I like my EDC knives a little bit longer than most because I use them for a lot of food preparation, cutting through bread, cutting through bagels, buttering things, and then also I do a lot of bushcraft and impromptu woods type activities. So I want a knife that can also baton, but that can carve a little trap, carve myself, do a little bushcraft to get a seat going out there, can point sticks for steaks and all that sort of thing. So I like that in an EDC knife as well. The other thing I like about this is just that it's like an old Western Bowie knife, but one that you can still carry with you. It's not a huge honker. It's pretty easy to conceal if you'd like, or just carry with you. It's pretty non-threatening when it's in that sheath, just poking out like that. And it's a great way to kind of be in continuity with the Old West. Why is that? Well, we've got the Bowie knife design, and that Bowie knife design is just classic. You see that nice little sweep there, but not so exaggerated that the point goes up too high. This point is nicely centered through the knife, which is just what you want with a Bowie knife. If this were to be employed combatively, that's what you want because that puts the most power into your straight line thrust. And yes, the Bowie is both a thrusting and slashing weapon. We've got this one with a false edge there, that false edge, but it looks really cool. Looks like a sharpened clip, again, kind of like the old Bowie knives, and then some nice jimping on the back. Notice the high polish. This is a more difficult polish to do, but it ends up looking really nice on these knives. I don't do this too much anymore just because it takes a lot of time, but this one still has it. Now, this is a convex style blade. A convex blade, there's a lot of really good things about it. It's easy to resharpen. It's extremely durable, holds its edge for a long time, and it's just easily, sharp, goes through stuff, no problem. It can cut up this stuff like celery. So love this style knife design. See how it's convex. It's gonna hold its edge for a long time. It's gonna be a very durable edge, and it's a breeze to resharpen. We've also got that good taper, thick, thinner, thinnest, and you really need your knife thin towards the tip. If the width of the knife is reduced, then the width of the spine also needs to be reduced to maintain a consistent cutting angle so you can get good cuts towards the tip of your knife. Let me show you an example of that right here. All the way towards the tip of the knife, and I can pull that right through. Try to do that with any knife you have. I guarantee it won't work because most knives don't cut well towards the tip. Moving back, we've got this really handsome curly maple handle. Now, I like a lot of things about this. First of all, I love curly maple. It's got that pioneer feel. Second of all, it's kind of like a holographic card. I mean, look how it changes its light, changes the way it looks in the light. Look at that. That's just an awesome feature of curly maple. And it's a coffin style handle. So notice how the light bounces off of it there. You can see it's got these facets almost like a coffin handle. And when I first saw that design, I thought, well, that can't be comfortable. It's angular. But then as I started to experiment with it, I found it's actually extremely comfortable if you do it right. So notice how there's no sharp edges here. It's all softened. If there were, this would hurt when you're chopping or using it, but it's all softened. So it maintains those nice facets, but it's kind of dehorned and buttered almost. So very comfortable in the hand. And the other secret here is it's thicker here, thinner there. That's just how your hand wants it, right? If you hold your hand like you're holding a knife, it's has more space here, less space there, and that accords really well with a good knife design handle like that. So this, you're gonna find it fits really comfortably in your hand, really snug, you never wanna let go of it. Both forward and reverse grip, very comfortable. So you can use this knife all day. Again, camping, you can do skinning and processing game with it. You can do food with it. And yes, it is a Bowie knife. You could use this defensively. It really covers all the bases. It'd be great for reenactments, and it'd fit with, cowboy pioneer theme, or, just something that is hand forged, handmade, and keeps you in continuity with those old world style craftsmanship materials. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's 1095 high carbon steel. It's differentially heat treated, so it's hard on the edge, soft on the spine, makes it really durable. Of course, it's all forged right here at the forge, and completely hand done. So there's an overview of this knife. Some of the things I think that makes it just really special and an attractive one to have. And let's now do a little cutting with it so you can see how it performs. As Bill Bagwell said, all Bowie knives should be able to do a 1-inch hanging rope cut. Now, theirs is a little bit easier because he was talking about a 9-inch Bowie knife, and the rope was hanging a lot longer than this, so it had some more inertia, more mass to work against it. But I think even if I hold this out at arm's length and take a good chop with it, I'll still be able to get through it with this Mars Fire Bowie. So let's take a look. Don't try this at home. You could end up needing a tourniquet. There you go, straight through, no problem, easy cut. You could even just fold this around and pull right through like that. That's not an easy cut to make, unless of course you've got a nicely designed Mars Fire Forge knife. Let's look at some other things it can do. Here's just a very classic cut you might have to do. Pull your knife, cut your cord, and put it back in the sheath. Now this stuff is not easy to get through, especially not when you start to cut towards the tip of the knife. So again, I want you to try this at home if you have a knife. Go to the very, very tip of the knife, only holding that much, okay? And I'm just going to pull through, and it cuts straight through at the tip because there's not so much material through here. A lot of production knives, they leave them big and chunky through here. If you have a good temper, you don't need that. This tip is just as strong as any other one, and yet it can cut and slice finely because there's not a ton of material through there. So little utility cuts like this, super easy and very nice to do with this Bowie knife. Just how strong is the tip? Well, let's just do a little test here. This is generally the sort of thing you want to avoid doing with your knife, particularly if it has a nice fine tip to it. But as you can see, I'm gonna bore a hole straight through this 2x4, and I could. Really did some work to that 2x4, and of course, yeah, there's no issue there because again, it's just tempered well. This is a good, sturdy knife. I've worked on my heat treatment for 16 years, refining it. This is going to be the sort of quality you want. It's gonna be extremely durable. It's gonna hold that edge. That tip's gonna stay on there. You can baton it, you can do whatever you want with it. It's not gonna break. I've dropped these knives onto this concrete floor before. I've accidentally banged into rocks with the tip of these knives before, and I always think, oh boy, here we go. And I look, and the damage is minimal. You can fix it with sandpaper, so simple. In fact, I got a video where I put one of these knives on a brick, one of these bricks, and I baton right through it. Check that out, it's my custom knife versus factory knife video. Anyway, there's a strong tip for you. The thing I do a lot of around here is cutting leather. I actually make all the sheaths for my knives with the knife that the sheath goes to. And so every knife I make has to be able to cut through leather really well. I might have something like a straight edge like this and have to cut through. But listen, when you've got that edge geometry done just right and that tip done just right, it's really not that big a deal to get through leather like this. Now, it can be very difficult sometimes if you try to do this with other knives or other designs on knives or other makes, but really it is quite simple when you've got the design right. A good tip tapered towards the edge is going to be able to go through leather like this just fine every time. It's Speaking of leather, let's take a closer look at this sheath. This is all 8 to 9 ounce veg tan leather. I hand stain it and oil it and cut it with scissors or the knife that I made it with. And it's hand stitched. You've got some nice kind of red stitching there with this oxblood leather. It sets it off really well. Edges are all nice and smooth. And we've got the, again, copper peen rivets, top and bottom, to make sure the whole thing stays secure. It stays in pretty well just because it's pretty tight sheath, but it's also easy to remove. Now this is just a fold over sheath, kind of mountain man style. Not a lot of pieces to it. It makes it really easy to just tuck in, to stow and go, throw it in the bag, in the pant, and yes, you can connect it to the belt. Let me just cut this in here and just show you a few ways you can use this and wear it. So a great way to have this is just to tuck it in. I used to carry a lot of knives like this, especially when you're in the woods and you're up and down, and you're moving around, and you want it quickly and put it back in quickly. This is a really nice way to carry it. And yes, you can conceal pretty easily like that. So that can go there, no problem, stays in fairly secure. But of course, if you want to go more traditional, which makes total sense, I've got that strap on the back, and I like it just there because it keeps the knife nice and high on your belt, which really is what you want. You don't want stuff dangling down and bouncing all around. You want stuff secure, you want stuff close to the body, and high, tight, and comfortable. So that is how this one mounts right there. It's a nice height, and again, if you want to go conceal, the other positive aspect of this is the shirt can go over it, and it's not so obviously there. Just kind of like my PDP isn't obviously there, but it is, and I made that holster too. Anyway, so you can carry it like this. Now this is going to be the way most guys want to carry it. Strong side on the belt, take it out, do your work with it, and put it on back, nice and simple. This can be, again, worn day to day. This can be concealed. This can be worn in your hunting gear. You can take it wherever you'd like because it's your knife if you buy it. So this is a very simple and extremely versatile sheath, which I like a lot. I think you'll enjoy it too. Everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Again, as of the posting of this video, this knife is for sale, $350. If you'd like it, send me an email at marsfireforge@gmail.com or go to the website, marsfireforge.com. You'll see this on the available now option on the website. If you get a hold of me and I've already sold it, don't worry, I make these things. I make these things all day. So you want one and I've already sold this, I'll make you one just like it. You want to modify it, you want to put some micarta handles on it, you want to make kind of a cool, different style Bowie knife, we can do all that. So there's no problem even if you miss the window here. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, please comment below, share the video with other like-minded guys who like knives, and I'll see you next time for another video.